This is All Things Nerd production.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Kobolds in the Basement podcast. My name is Chad Hillson. I will be your game manager. We are joined with Dave Morris,
If I catch you hijacking, I'm giving you a whacking. Caster Flamebeard.
Schaloan Dysland,
Playing as Luminora.
and Steven Dysland.
Valerian, as always.
So, let's get into it. This is Kobolds in the Basement. Now, before we get started, let's do a quick recap of the last episode. So last episode, our would-be heroes awoke to find Cass face down in a puddle of the Blythe. As they awoke him, he was mid-night terror of his cousin Bryn, only to awake to his new friends and traveling companions, while the Blythe receded into his eyes, nose, and mouth before he fully regained his composure. Despite this, he seems to be completely unaffected by his slumber in the sludge. The party then ventures to a main road where they find a muddy, sunken caravan of travelers ready to get back on the road and kind of reluctant to give too many details of their plans. As Valerian peers into the canvas-covered carriage, he does notice some bodies and sprung into action, alerting Tevin and the others to follow his lead. After dispatching of a lot of those mysterious travelers, they learned that these marauders had finished a job for a crime boss, Oldengarf. To much of Tevin's dismay, Oldengarf, who runs his business out of a nearby inn and casino, and after defeating these road warriors, collecting a lot of the goods and deciding to follow the road to the casino, they find themselves unsure of what to expect for their deeds. And as they approach the crime boss Oldengarf, they are eager for answers. That's where we are now. So as you guys are traveling, the rain is starting to pick up. It's starting to downpour as you are making your way down this road heading towards the casino. You guys had collected a fair amount of gold from that carriage, as well as some old ratty looking boots, as well as a cloak and a few other goods. It's still a little bit of travel time as you are heading down the road. What are you guys talking about, discussing, planning? What's going through all y'all's mind?
Are we going to mention what happened?
Which part?
Killing, the hanging.
Oh, you mean tying them to the tree to be left for dead?
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
I think that's what they deserved.
It's, it's up to you, Luminora, if you want to talk about it. I've seen worse.
I meant to the crime boss.
We could bring it up. Though, those guys didn't seem like very high up in his organization. I still think we need to figure out answers of how the heck the sky turned black, when it turned black, so we know how long we've been gone, so to speak. And maybe somebody in this town will help, but I know this crime boss sounds like you're kind of person to take on there, Valerian.
I have a little bit of experience with these types of characters, yeah.
But it also seems like something you would like to just, since we're passing through, also deal with.
Good point. I think, Luminor, I think it's probably best if we don't mention it. At least not right away. It's either going to impress the hell out of them or really piss them off.
And Tevin, you seem like you know this Oldengarf, or know of him at least. Is there anything we should know? Like, big things to avoid or not do besides just punching his face in?
I know of him. He's kind of a piece of shit. And like a deadbeat. But he does have a lot of people that work for him that are less than good.
Less than good. I like that description.
So if you haven't ventured far from your home before, how do you know of him?
He's my dad.
What? Well, That
He-
that
he-
complicates things.
You
yeah,
didn't think to tell us that. I don't know. Maybe like
well, I
before?
didn't think that we would have to interact with him. He he doesn't even know if I'm alive. Um, my mom told him that I died to get him to leave us alone. So, um, I she says that he's a son of a bitch, who just wanted to use her and us for his gain.
How long ago did your mother tell him this? That you had died?
I was still a baby, so
She's not gonna like recognize you or anything, right?
it depends on how much I look like him, but I don't know.
But he's not a tiefling.
No, but he is a devil of sorts.
Uh,
Well, that got spicy.
that makes things a little bit more straightforward. So, what you're really saying is your mom would probably be really happy if we just beat the ever-loving snot out of him.
Yeah, she might be okay with that.
Alright then. But this town, hopefully we can find some answers because we can't figure out where to go next until we figure out what the heck is really going on with this black stuff and all. I mean, I have theories on it, but I don't know if they're going to pan out. Like, since the trees are still giving off this black sludge, does that mean that it has to keep going to keep the sky black? Like, if we suddenly stopped all the trees from making it rain upwards, would the sky eventually clear? There's so many things we gotta figure out about this stuff, and, can people who've been infected get cured? Or, how... We got a lot to worry about here.
Yeah.
Those are all very good points.
But, so, first stop in this town, I don't think we need lodging right away. Do we want to check out this casino? Do we want to try to find answers? I mean, there's probably, some kind of town records, or who knows, there's probably some person who loves to just talk about, oh, I remember when the sky wasn't black, and people who love to talk like that kind of deal. So, or some history nerd or something. I think those are going to be our best bets to try to at least frame up this picture we're stuck in.
Someone has to have at least some idea.
Yeah. We haven't hit a town big enough yet, so maybe this will be our first.
Do it. Let's go and try and get some answers.
And if we have to beat up a, devil in a casino along the way, so be it.
Maybe we can hit the blackjack table first.
Can I hit him with the blackjack table?
Sure, but dibs on the roulette wheel.
Those are fun, though.
So
Tevin,
as
how do you feel about this? About going very close to your father that thinks you're dead?
well, I mean, hopefully that means that he won't notice me. I mean, I am getting a little anxious and quite mad as we get closer, but I mean, I'm with you guys, so I think I'll be okay.
You can always stay behind.
I don't know. We'll see.
You wouldn't happen to know, like, how strong of a devil he is, would you? Like, he's not some pit fiend or something other abnormally powerful that we probably shouldn't go pissing off.
No, I mean, he's just, I mean, he's like really, really tall. He's like, yeah, really tall, really big and strong. I don't think he has a lot of like magical abilities, at least not like you guys do. I think he's just like a brute.
Yeah, brute I think we can deal with as long as he doesn't have too many minions along with him.
Big brutish devil. Now I really want to kick his ass.
I mean, he would have, a handful of people like around him, but they're probably not very strong. It's more just a lot of people.
Yeah, we're not the best equipped for taking on large numbers, but I think we can manage.
Just don't make any deals with him.
Not even if he offers a golden fiddle.
Okay.
Only if he offers a golden fiddle.
Oh, Now I'm confused.
Wait, I think I know where we are.
So as you guys are discussing and talking and heading down the road, you notice that there's really not a lot of surrounding buildings, anything like that. But you do see off in the distance, looks to be a very large building that is just lit up. All kinds of lights. It definitely stands out even through the rain and in the darkness. You can only assume that that's the casino that you're approaching.
It's just like Vegas.
It's real subtle.
Nothing and then lights everywhere. Shall we?
Well, I mean, if there's not much around it, I think the casino is unfortunately our first stop. Maybe some bartenders there or anything can give us some information.
All right.
Or even fellow gamblers.
Yeah, I worry. A devil running a casino makes me worry about magic maybe influencing the gamblers.
So as you get closer, you do notice that there's a little bit of a courtyard. You come into this courtyard. It's very much U-shaped, very ornate architecture, covering the walls, very brightly lit. And you're kind of in this heart-shaped, U-shaped courtyard with this grand, wide staircase leading up to the front doors. So you're about right there-ish on the map. So as you walk up to the doors, they magically swing open, and you get a whiff of just fresh air. It almost stings the nostrils because you haven't smelt this fresh of air in a long time since you've been in this place.
I feel conflicted as of whether or not I should like this.
I don't recognize this smell. I mean, I know what it is, but it's you don't have this smell in the Astral Sea. And I wasn't back on Eberron long enough to really get used to it again. But I will give him credit for, at least maintaining a smoke-free casino.
As you get to the second set of doors, they swing open, and it's just hazy with cigar smoke. Totally kidding.
Damn it.
You walk in, it's very brightly lit. A handful of tables. At just about every single table, there's some patrons gambling. You do notice that there is, as you look around, everyone give me a perception check.
Ooh, a check.
That is a 11.
A 10.
Nasty 6.
All right. So, yeah, as you are looking around, you see, some people gambling. They don't look to be of the highest quality, upstanding citizens. And then you do see, a handful of short, red-skinned little creatures. Some of them are acting as dealers. Some of them are just walking around. Some of them are sitting on couches and sofas, having drinks. But as you all walk into the room, it's like a vinyl record scratch. Everyone looks up, looks at you, and they just stare for a second.
Yo, what up?
Where are all the elven women at?
You hear a couple of chuckles. A lot of people go back to doing what they're doing. Tevin is standing at that second doorway, just kind of like standing back. He looks very uncomfortable, very nervous. What do you do?
Ask Tevin. You okay, buddy? You doing all right? Hanging in there? Staying frosty?
No, I'm very mad being this close to my dad, but we need answers.
If you want, you can hit the scraps table or something while we it's okay. There's no shame in it.
I think I'll just stay closer to you guys.
What I'm
Okay, buddy.
curious about is how many of the people in here that look like people aren't really people versus the ones who are obviously imps or something and not even caring. There could be lords or other people in disguise as people. I don't know. I could figure out how many are in here, but looking around the room, it's probably going to be almost blinding to try to use my divine sense. It's just going to be like, yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I want to go over to the bar.
Okay.
I think that's always a good place to start.
Yeah. So you head on over to the bar. Another one of the smaller red-skinned creatures, like Aladdin style, wearing just a black like tuxedo vest, but it's not buttoned up. It's just hanging open.
Opa?
Nope, not Opa. No Opa.
Nopa.
And is, you walk up and is, hey, what can I get for you?
I need a strong ale.
All right. He turns around, pours it, slides it over to you. It'll be 2 copper.
I give him 3.
Thank you. If you don't mind me asking, you haven't seen you in here before? We have a pretty regular crowd, even with how crowded it is. Where are you from?
That's a bit of a long story. We're just kind of traveling through, and this looked like the only place to go in town, really. Figure we might stop, take a load off, maybe see if we can figure out a few things, and, and then probably be on our way.
Okay. Are you looking to just pass through? What are you trying to figure out?
So, like I said, it's a bit of a long story, but we're looking for somebody who might have a good bit of history knowledge about the area. We're pretty new here, and like to maybe find somebody, either a library, some books, some history nerd, something that might be able to help us answer some questions.
Hate to break it to you, not a library anywhere near. But there might be some people that could answer some questions for a price or a favor.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's always ways to work out something to get information. I mean, I'll be honest, I think it's the first casino I've seen where, I've seen people from, your kind working above ground. So this is all new to me.
He just kind of laughs to himself. If anyone else wants to give me a perception check, not Cass, go for it. Or if you guys are doing something different, or if you're kind of all staying together, sitting with Cass.
I trailed
I'm just
after Cass.
Say that again, Luminora?
I trailed just after Cass. Kind of, a few steps behind. Just keeping my distance, observing. I didn't order anything though or talk to him. I'm just there.
Okay.
I'm looking for the blackjack table.
Okay. Well, to get to the bar,
Keeping
you walk
tabs
past
on
a
it.
couple of them.
What was
I'll be
that?
stopping at one of them.
Say that again, Valerian.
I'll be stopping at one of those blackjack tables.
Okay.
And Chad, I'm sorry, I did not hear what you said.
About Valerian walking past several blackjack tables. Yeah.
22?
Okay. So with a 22 perception for Luminora, as you're kind of scoping out the place, a few steps behind Cass, Tevin is about another step or so behind you. You notice a lot of the workers, all these little imp-like creatures with their red skin are, they're watching you, but they are staring at Tevin. And they're starting to kind of like whisper, talk to each other.
Shit.
From across the room, you do see a couple of the workers, step away from their tables and go into a side room. Yeah.
How long has this casino been here, pal?
Well, it depends on who you ask. But it's been here about 150 years.
Yeah. Was there a sign on the outside to say what the place was called or anything, or
Just said casino.
yeah? So
Mainly because I didn't think of a name.
so kind of odd that there's not a lot of town really built around here. What does anybody else do to help pay for their gambling around here?
They work for it, or they owe debts, or they've just been here a very, very long time.
Yeah. How long you been working here?
Pretty much since day one.
So 150 years?
Something like that.
I need
You
to
look great, man. You haven't aged a day.
What can I say? I do things to keep myself young.
Sure you do. And this guy kind of like looking over at Tevin, like over my shoulder.
Yes.
Well, all right. So you guys have rooms here or not? Just out of curiosity, in case we need a place to crash for the night.
Yeah, we definitely do have some rooms. We have different sizes. You know, are you looking for an individual room or something for all of your party?
Might be a few individual rooms, unless you got a multi-bedroom suite or something. I can see a place as nice as this having those.
Oh, we definitely have a couple of suites, a penthouse.
I think my one friend's trying his luck over at the one table. So, who runs this place anyway?
Oh, the boss?
Yeah, the boss.
That'd be Oldengarf.
Oldengarf. Is he a good boss or is he a taskmaster?
You know, he takes really good care of us. You know, like any boss, if you cross him, he can have a temper, but he likes to take care of his own.
I get that.
At this point in time, Tevin is just like shaking.
You seem to be staring at my traveling companion back there.
Yeah.
Don't see a lot of tieflings?
It's not that. It's his eyes. They look very familiar.
Well, I mean, I don't like the stereotype, but, you devils and fiends are known to get around a little bit. Entirely possible, somebody in this place might have had a connection.
Very well could be.
Well, thanks for the drink. I think we're gonna play around, maybe play tables a little bit for while we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Will do.
So are you going to go and join Valerian at the table he's at, or are you gonna kind of like disperse?
I'm gonna go over to Tevin.
Okay.
Is he still in front of the second double doors?
No, he's just a little bit behind you. He followed you in.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go over to Tevin and just ask him to walk around with me. But I keep very close to him.
Okay, thank you.
I want to kind of just perch up on a wall somewhere and maybe just kind of take a little bit of time to survey the room, see if anybody's doing anything more than staring, or if there's anybody new coming in, or just do a big, sit and stare kind of deal. But I want to have like my back to a wall because I don't want anybody coming up behind me.
Okay. And then with that, we'll head over to Valerian sitting at a blackjack table.
Big.
The dealer, tells you it's a minimum of 2 silver per bet.
Me down for 5.
Okay. He deals out the cards. Just give me a raw luck check, just a d20.
An 8.
So with an 8, you lose that first hand?
Let's see what's happening. All right. 10 gold, Mr. Dealer.
10 gold. Getting really ambitious after losing right away.
I say it kind of loudly, flashily.
A couple people look over at you, and then they go right back to their own gambling. Give me another
11.
With an 11, you win that hand. So you did 10 gold, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, so then you win 10 gold back to yourself.
And then on my last hand, like when I win, I kind of celebrate a little brashly, like not really making a scene, but just trying to see. While I'm doing this, I'm trying to like glance around and see who's paying any kind of attention, I guess, and who's just more like, oh, somebody's making noise, back to my game, whereas who's lingering, I guess.
Okay, give me a perception check.
12.
I mean, with the 12, you notice that there's a pit boss just kind of making his rounds around the table. He's definitely keeping his eye on you, but not like in a suspicious way. Just you're someone new, throwing down some bigger bets, being a little loud with your celebrations. That's really about it.
And for my last hand,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, so I was gonna say for my last hand, again, kind of loudly, 50 gold coins, Mr. Dealer.
Okay.
Solid 5.
Thank you. Scoops it all.
Oh man, look at me, I lost.
Well,
And then I kind of like exaggeratedly hang my head down a little bit and walk away from the table.
Well, if you want to try again later, I'll be here.
I'm looking around for like the regular, like the actual patrons, not the staff. Like who might be, the more seasoned experience. The old grandma at the slots, or somebody who looks like they've been around for a long time and might have heard a lot more things.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Nat 20.
Well, with a nat 20, you definitely do see some, to put it nicely, some blue hairs, sitting around, at different tables, being chatty with the dealer, where you can definitely tell that they're, regulars. There's a silver fox aged man at one of the tables, and then there's an older lady at another one of the tables.
I want to go over
playing
and,
craps. One of them is at a blackjack table.
I want to go over and sit down with like where like the two blue hairs are.
Okay.
Mm.
Yep. They're in front of a roulette wheel.
All right. Come over. How's it going, ladies?
Oh, dearie. We're doing great.
Yeah. Table being kind to you tonight?
Oh, it always is.
Yeah. So, I don't mean to be rude. We just came into town and I hadn't been to this place before. What can you tell me about this place in this town?
Well, there's not much of a town around. It's a little bit of a hike. But they do offer, decent rates on rooms to make the trip worthwhile. But, I mean, this place is always very clean. If you know what you're looking for, then you don't see it. Someone can almost always find something for you.
Well, that's handy. Well, how long you been coming here?
Oh, we've been coming here for the past, 10 years or so.
10 years, huh? What'd you do before that?
Oh, little this, little that, in some of the nearby towns, there's always some sort of work. But as we got older, there wasn't as much for us to do.
All right. And while I'm here, Kat, I will place a bet on the roulette wheel of 1 gold on red.
1 gold on red. Okay. With an 18. Yep. It comes up on a red.
I win 1 gold because I think that's just 1-to-1 payout.
Yes, that's what I was trying to look up really quickly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure red and black are just 1-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, look at you winning already.
That must be my lucky night.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hey, don't knock it. I'm probably older than both of them.
But
I mean, you two probably can't be over a day over 75.
you're supposed to say 29.
I'm 350. What do you want?
Come on, rookie.
They both blush. One of them clutches her pearls. You're too sweet.
I cast Mage Hand and steal the pearls. Kidding.
Got any advice for us while we're in town?
Well, if you decide to stay here, make sure to check out the breakfast buffet. It's very good.
Okay.
We just like to play our games, make a little money, and then make a weekend out of it. We don't do too much. We're not exciting.
I don't know about that.
But if you do stick around long enough, sometimes something exciting will happen here. Someone gets a little rowdy and you get to get a free show out of it.
Uh-huh. So, maybe you lovely ladies could tell me where I might go to try to find some, looking to find some information, more history than anything.
Oh, yeah. There's a little town not too far from here. It's about 10 or 15 miles. There is an they're still young to us, but a school teacher there that knows a lot about the local history.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of times there's a lot of interesting people that come in here that seem like they might know a lot too.
Yeah. Anybody here tonight who's not one of the regulars?
Other than you and the 3 that have came in with you. Not that I'm noticing.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, ladies.
You have a good one, Sonny.
So is there like a crowd yet gathering near Tevin, or is it...
Well, Luminora, what are you and Tevin doing? Because you said that you were just kind of like walking around with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were just kind of walking around the tables.
Yeah. So,
I kind of wanted to check out, you mentioned some of the workers like tucked away in a side room.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see, not too close to it, but walk towards one of those side rooms and just take, quick glances, see if there's anything special or if I could hear anything on the other side of the door.
Yeah, definitely. Give me an investigation check as you get a little bit closer.
16.
So with the 16, the side door that you saw a couple of the workers dip into, now you're kind of at the opposite end of this game floor from where the bar is. You don't really notice much. The door is closed. As you do approach a little bit closer, just one of the workers steps out, closes the door directly behind him, and then just stands in front of it. And then he is kind of staring at Tevin.
So how far away are we from this worker that just stepped out?
10, 15 feet. Unless you wanted to be further away from the door.
No, that's good. Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for the restrooms. Could you point me in the direction?
Yeah, they're across the floor. They're just past the bar.
Great. Thank you so much. And I grab Tevin's shoulders and kind of just walk away with him.
Okay. If all three of you can give me a perception check.
18.
7.
Dave, you are just smitten by these blue hairs.
I got a 15.
And then, so with the 15, Valerian, you just notice, again, that the workers and a lot of the patrons, they're just kind of watching Tevin as he's following Luminora across the floor. And Luminora with an 18, as you start, kind of walking away from the door, above you, because it's a big open room. So above you, there's a little bit of a little, like, almost like a Juliet balcony. Can kind of assume that it's, like the office is up there so that they can look over the game floor. You notice that there is a very large shadow that you can see through the glass doors up there. Sorry for the interruption, dear heroes, but I just have to ask. Are you like me and my friends, where your food tends to be lacking just a little something extra? If you are, then look no further than Crybaby Craig's hot sauce to fix all of your spicy and saucy needs. Because this pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce will go on practically anything. It was started by Craig himself in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, and this sauce has become a staple of all hot sauces and flavor enhancers across the lands for many, many moons. If you don't believe me, go and check out crybabycraigs.com and order yours today to, quite frankly, just better your life. Or at least your taste buds. But be sure to let them know that we sent you and enjoy the best damn hot sauce there is. Now, let's get back to the show. There are curtains pulled so you can't see what this person looks like or anything like that. It's just a very large shadow, and it's just kind of standing there.
Okay. And Valerian and Cass, are you guys still gambling?
After I finish up my conversation, I'd probably make my way back over towards you.
Okay.
Yeah, once I finish that last hand, then kind of meet up with you guys.
Okay. Hey, you guys. There's, do you see that up there on the balcony? That there's like a shadow, and everyone, my voice is hushed, everyone keeps looking at Tevin. I got a real bad feeling about this.
Yeah, when I was talking with the bartender, he said something about Tevin's eyes looked familiar. I think he might have been made. We probably should try to discreetly get him out of here if we can.
As you say that, Tevin just grabs a random person's glass off of one of the tables and throws it up at the balcony window and just yells, "Oldengarf! You deadbeat piece of trash!"
Well, so much
Damn it,
for
Morty.
Morty.
Damn it, Tevin.
And a bunch of workers immediately stand up, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Tevin.
Tevin, we don't throw things.
Oh shoot!
I got an 8.
Oops.
We do this.
Alright.
Hopefully that one worked. That one didn't work. What the heck?
That's fine. I can.
Yeah, if you don't have a token on the board, it's not going to be happy.
I
One or
dragged
two.
the token though, and then I did it again, and it didn't do it.
Did you click on your token before you rolled?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. Because I rolled and then remembered I had to do that.
Yeah. I mean, you got a 14 with your first roll.
That's what I was going to go off of either way. All right. Right off the bat, Valerian, that will be you that goes first. So you guys are kind of almost in the middle of the gaming tables, maybe a little bit off to the side. There's a couple of the workers come rushing out of that side door when they hear the crash and the commotion. The bartender and 2 other workers that are over by the bar stand up, and then there's a couple more that stand up back here that were dealing at that table. So all in all, there are 7 of these guys. And Valerian, that is you.
Okay. So just out of curiosity and correlation to like where we are, so we're kind of like kind of in the middle of the like casino floor, sort of.
Yep, exactly. So there's two over here by the door, by that side door that Luminora was checking out. There's 2 that are kind of towards the back of the room, and then there's 3 over by the bar, which would kind of, well, that's where Cass was at earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we off recording quick? Do we want to assume, because I know he's still with us, but I know I haven't said anything about him, and I forgot of his existence until now. I know he's still alive and flying, but do we want to just assume that J. Edgar was like outside?
That works for me, kind of perched up.
Okay. Excuse me. Alrighty, and then so we'll say, yeah, as all these guys are coming out, Jay, if you're flies in, doesn't really have time to do anything, but he does fly into the room, and then I'm going to quickly pull out my crossbow, try to get some cover behind one of the gambling tables.
Okay.
Thinking which one, and pull out my crossbow, and I will take a shot at one of the guys by the bar.
Okay.
It's a 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
For 5 damage.
Okay.
And then, since I have crossbow expert, I will take another shot at just the same guy for a 21 to hit.
21 also hits.
4 damage.
Yeah, so as you go to take a little bit of cover, you fire off one shot at the guy that was kind of at the edge of the bar, not the actual bartender, as he's starting to pull out a kind of like needle-like dagger, and just one arrow goes right into his shoulder, followed closely by another one right into his side right below it, as he kind of stumbles back, and then that will be to Luminar.
Okay. I would like to chill touch the guy closest from the side room. That stepped out of the side room. One of the guys. The one closest.
Okay.
12 to hit.
The 12 misses.
Darn.
So as you throw out the chill touch, it just whizzes right past and kind of crashes into the wall.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
All right. So
Quick
that
question.
Mhm.
Sorry. Quick question out of game. From leveling up my symbiotic entity, what would that do to that again? Was it 4?
It's 4 times your level. So now it would be 20 hit points.
Okay.
Temporary hit points if you activated it.
All right, and that lasts for 10 minutes, correct?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just wanted, before I did that.
All So then that will be the workers' turns. So the first two that are by the side, that side room there, they're going to. It's really gross. What they do is you see that they bite down on their own lips, so they start to bleed from the mouths, and then they are going to spit at you. The first one is going to shoot it at Luminora.
Ew.
17 to hit.
17 does hit.
Okay. It is for 5 points of poison damage. And then I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
20.
You pass that, it's a DC 10. All right, so that is.
So just the 5 poison points?
Yep.
Or, yeah, okay.
And then the second one is going to spit at Cast there for a 12 to hit.
Does not hit.
Oh, big shocker there. And then there'll be two, the ones that are at the back. Those two are going to run up onto you all. The first one is going to take a swing with their dagger onto Caster there.
All right. Well, then I would get my reactive strike when he gets in the melee range.
Yep. I thought for some reason your polearm master. I thought you had to ready that.
Nope, it's auto.
Yep.
That's a nat 1, so it misses.
Woof.
Yep. Yeah, you just got this stuff spit at you. You know, you're kind of moving out of the way, so he's just able to slide right underneath your strike as he's running up on you, and then does a 21 hit.
21 does hit.
All right, for 7 piercing damage.
Woof.
The second one is going to run up onto Valerian and swing or make a little stab attack at you, but that's only a 9 to hit, so I'm assuming that misses.
You assume correctly.
All right. And then over at the bar, 2 of those workers, imps, are going to run forward. Only one can get decently close to you and is going to just kind of stop there. Actually, he's going to dash all the way up to Valerian, but he won't be able to attack. The second one is going to stop a little bit away, but then spit blood at Caster. 23 to hit.
That hits.
That is for 4 more points of damage.
What kind of damage?
Poison.
Alright, then I am resistant to poison damage, so I take 2.
Yep, so then you only take 2. And then the bartender is just kind of going to step out from behind the bar, but isn't going to really advance and just kind of assess the situation. And then Cast, that is to you. So you have 2 that are right up around you. There's one that's about 15 feet away, and then there's the 2 that are by the side room. They're about 20-ish feet away from you, about 25, 30 feet.
So Valerian, Luminara, and I are kind of all like bunched up together, and then how bunched up? So there's 2 like right in front of me, and then there's like 1 on Luminara, and like 2 standing on by Valerian.
Yep. So there's one like right here up by Valerian, the one that just hit you, and then the one that spit, and then there's 2 over here, and then the bartender.
Okay, so I thought like 1 ran up to Valerian but didn't attack, and then 1 did attack.
Yep. You were right. I was missing 1. So there's about 3 within about 10, 15 feet of you, but they're all kind of like bunched together. But they're not lining up. They're not that excited.
What's that?
I said, but they're not lining up. They're not that excited.
Yeah. Because I just wondering if there's a way, if I pivoted or whatever, I could kind of almost line these guys up a little bit. And like how far behind like the guys over here are from them. Like if there's like a guy standing here, how far? Like, you know, if he's like right next to Valerian there, like how far past him is he?
Yeah, so the 2 that are like right up on Valerian are like right here and here. There's one guy that's right there, and then the 2 that were at the side room that didn't move forward are more off to the side. So if you
Alright.
wanted to kind of line them up, you would get an attack of opportunity on you. But if you came closer towards the doors, you would be able to at least line up those 3. But depending on what you're trying to do, I don't know. But Valerian is also right there, so I don't.
Yeah. So I'll step away from the one. He can take his opportunity attack.
Only a 16, so
Misses. And then for the one that is farthest away in this lovely line, I'm going to throw my javelin of lightning at him.
go for it. That's what I thought you were doing.
That is a 16 to hit.
A 16 hits, roll for damage. And I need a DC 13.
Yep.
Is that for all 3 of them or for the one that's...
So the one that I hit takes 8 piercing and 17 lightning.
Okay.
And the 2 in the line have to make the dex save or take 17 lightning.
Okay, so the one that's in front makes the save because it's a DC 13, you said, right?
Yeah, it's 13.
Okay, and then the one in the middle fails, and then the one that's at the very end just... How do you want him to leave this world?
Oh, he does the full cartoon electrified skeleton, flashing,
Flashing
and then
back and forth.
and just neon sign light up, and then just turns to dust.
Awesome.
And so the guy in the middle who failed takes 17 lightning, and the guy who succeeded takes 8 lightning.
So the one that's in the middle looks so hurt. Like he's rang the doorbell on death's door. And then the one that's in the front is looking very hurt as well, but is still standing. And then that's going to go to Tevin, who is just super mad. Is going to cast Hunter's Mark on the closest imp, then is going to shoot his crossbow, but misses. So he's just incredibly flustered, very angry, calls out his target, Babe Ruth style, and then whiffs the shot just right over his shoulder, going back into the wall. And then that is back to Valerian.
All right. Is that guy still on me, or did Caster take care of him?
One is still right on you, and he is on death's door.
Okay. All right. I'll swing my. Oops. Sorry. I will just swipe at him with my rapier.
Okay.
Since he's right there. 17 to hit.
17 hits. No need to roll damage.
10.
This guy dies. Just as you're kind of like half hidden behind the table, you stand up, swing your rapier, and a stiff breeze would have done this guy in.
Can I say that I carved a V into his chest?
Sure.
Like Zorro style? Just
Sure thing.
Papa Zoro style.
and then are there any more that are around me, or
There is still
Luminora?
one that is... He's looking hurt, but is still standing. He's about 10 feet away from you.
Is he next to anyone else, I should say?
He's kind of right between you and Cass.
But not within 5 feet?
No.
Okay. I'm going to jump or kind of run back behind Luminora, or close to her, and I will shoot this guy with... Oh no, I can't, because I should have this memorized by now, I'm sorry. With the one-handed weapon. Okay. Yep, so I will shoot at him with my crossbow. I couldn't remember if I had to use the crossbow first and then to be able to use it for my bonus, but...
Okay, the one that's by Cass, or one of the two that are by the side door?
The guy that was running up to me that's like almost super dead.
Okay.
14 to hit.
14 does hit.
Nice. For 4 damage.
For
Piercing.
4 damage? Okay. Looking very, very hurt, but is still hanging in there. Just, they're clearly still trying to get over the fact that lightning just shot through them, and they didn't die, but everyone behind them did by the time that they got a chance to see what was going on behind them, and then just takes an arrow to the shoulder. And that will be Luminora. That is your turn.
So this guy that Valerian just went after, he is.
I'm sorry, Valerian, was there something else you wanted to do?
Yeah, I was going to have J. Edgar, so the guy that I just shot at.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know, how would you want to do it, Chad? Have him. I could either have him be
Like pestering him?
pestering him, or I could just ready an action for the next person who goes to attack him to then pester him. I just don't know how you would want to have me do that.
Let me think of how it's actually worded, right? I mean, if he's pestering him, I mean, it's only going to be roughly 6 seconds before your next turn, so.
Okay, but I mean, it could be for anybody to attack. So okay, so yeah, well, J. Edgar comes from his flapping around up there and kind of does a little talon dive at this crispy imp and just kind of flaps his wings in his face while I duck back under my tape or duck back behind Luminora, kind of.
Okay. No, Luminora, sorry about that.
Okay, no, that's fine. So this guy, he's over here, right?
A little bit further away.
By the side door?
Yep, they're like here.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. I would like to cast. So this first guy is crispy.
Nope, the two that are over there are perfectly fine. The one that's crispy is the one that's over by Caster, kind of in the middle of the game floor.
Yeah, he's right by that roulette wheel is the pile of ash.
Okay, gotcha. I am going to cast Ice Knife at the one closest by the side door.
Okay.
Nat
20.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, I mean, that
that
is.
hits.
So.
I taught her that.
So 9 piercing
All right.
and 15 cold damage.
And then what's the range on the explosion? Is it just within 5 feet or is it 10 feet? Or is it more?
I want to say it's 5 feet.
Yeah, and they get a dex save on the cold explosion.
AC 15.
Well, they failed their deck save, but the second guy isn't quite close enough to where when the ice knife explodes that he will be hit by it, but the first guy takes all of that damage, yeah?
Yeah.
24 total.
That was just enough to kill.
That was a nasty ice knife.
So explain what happens as this ice knife as this ice knife strikes this dude and takes him out.
So it like goes on the ground, right? And kind of like goes up and like shards to like in 5 feet radius, right? If I understand correctly.
Think of it more as throwing an icicle, so it hits and then it explodes.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. So this piece of ice shaped like a knife hurtles towards this guy, hits him, finds its mark right in the chest. Ugh. And then from that, it kind of like crystallizes him, like from where it hit. So like his whole body like is just covered in this like icy thing. And all of a sudden, boom, he explodes with the ice.
Fantastic.
Got a pile of dead ice and a pile of dead ash.
We were just getting all the elements there. That's all.
Now we just got to turn somebody to stone.
Medusa, where you at? That'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. So then that will be to the imps. The one that's still standing that was by the side door is going to run up towards you, but stay about 10, 15 feet back, and is going to spit at you, Luminora. But it's only an 11 to hit, so I'm assuming that does not.
Does not hit.
Why can't they hit anything?
Because they're lame.
Fair enough. And then the one that's hanging on by a thread in front of you, Cass, is going to take a couple of steps back and then bite down on his lips really hard and then spit some blood at you. But that was only a 12 to hit.
Yeah, don't hit me.
And then the one that stayed off a little bit and spit at you last time is going to run up onto you, Cass, and try and stab you.
Well, I get to whack him first.
Yep, absolutely you do. Thank goodness.
Nope, that's only a 10.
Yep, a 10 does not hit. But does a 23 hit you?
Oh, yeah, it hits.
I guess.
All right. It is for 4 damage. And then the bartender is who's been kind of standing at the edge of the bar. He's just kind of been watching. You just see him look up towards the balcony and just like wave his arms, just trying to get some sort of attention. And then that will be Caster. That is your turn.
All right. Well, I look at this guy who just stabbed me with a little dagger and go, "Oh, that's cute." And then I'm gonna take, as we are now level 5, my 2 attacks on him.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, but you didn't take 2 last time, but that's because you threw the javelin.
Yeah. I could have taken a second attack with something else, but I missed with the first one because that's a natural 1 again.
Yeah. Ooh,
Second attack,
Nat 20.
19 to hit.
19 does hit, so roll that damage.
That is 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay.
And then for my bonus action, I will hit him with the spear butt. That is an 18 to hit
An 18 hits.
for another 8 damage.
All right. This imp, runs up, gets a little stab on you, is feeling pretty confident. You take your first swing, misses. Now he's feeling really good, and then just racks him across the head. Hits him with you hit him with the butt of the spear, and he went from being very okay to so messed up. Just already an eye is swollen shut, bruised, blackened, blood running from his nose, where a second ago he was feeling so confident because he stabbed you a little.
He peaked.
All right, and then that will be to Tevin, who is just going to move his hunter's mark to the other one that keeps spitting at Luminora. Is going to shoot and miss. He's clearly just so flustered and is mad about this entire situation that he, again, just wild shot, flies over. And then he's going to kind of crouch down behind his, kind of taking partial cover from the table there. And then that is back up to Valerian.
Alright. There is still the kind of crispy guy that was between me and Cass, or did somebody wipe him out?
Yep, he just took a couple of steps back.
Okay. Is J. Edgar still on him or no?
It'd be within 5 feet. I mean, he literally just took like a step back is all.
Oh. Alright, so I'm going to take my first shot at him then. Okay. So first crossbow shot on that guy. 17
No,
to hit.
17 hits.
For 4 or 14.
Yeah, go ahead and finish him.
J. Edgar's flapping around in his face. He tries to take a step back. But almost as soon as he does, he steps just slightly back from J. Edgar, but as soon as he gets the relief of no longer being pecked, he looks back in my direction just in time to see my crossbow bolt go right through his eye.
Fantastic.
And then he collapses. And then for my second attack here, the bartender, who I noticed was flapping his arms about, I'll take a shot in his direction. Only a 12.
12 does not hit.
Rats.
All right, then that will be Luminora. Unless anything else you want to do with bonus action or anything like that, Valerian.
Yeah, that was from the last one. So I'll have J. Edgar just kind of fly up, maybe like perch on a chandelier or something.
Okay.
And that's it.
Then Luminora.
Okay. The guy's still here, right? Sorry, it's just a little tricky for me to keep up with.
Yep. He's about
Just
20
one
feet
more.
away from you.
Okay. I would like to run up to him and attack him with my scimitar.
Okay.
13 to hit.
13 just hits.
Oh, thank heavens. 8 slashing damage.
Don't forget you have your Halo Spores as well.
Can I use that without being in symbiotic entity?
It just doesn't do as much damage.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that I needed to be in symbiotic entity for it. So I will use Halo Spores on him.
So,
What's the DC on that now since you've leveled up? Is it 15 now instead of...
Yep, 15 for their con save.
Rolled a 9. And then now that you're at level 5, what's the damage on it?
I think it's
We were
I don't
just
think it goes up until level 6.
I don't even know where it is on my character sheet because I've never had to click on it or anything.
It would be on the right-hand side towards the bottom where it says Halo of Spores. Because it's just a reaction.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's still 1d4. So that's 4 damage. It goes up at next level, it would go up to 1d6.
Okay.
So it increases at 6th, 10th, and then 14th.
Okay. So, I mean, just like the imp that went to Stabcaster just a few moments ago, this dude was looking pretty healthy, feeling pretty confident. You come running up, swing your scimitar at him, and then quite literally spit poison on him. And now looking very, very hurt.
Payback's a mother.
All right. So now it is the imp's turn. I'm going to start with the bartender. He's going to use his full dash to start running across the game floor here. Can only get to about where the chandelier is. You just hear him shouting for help. And then the second imp, the other one that is left alive. No, there's still 2 left alive. The one that's right next to Cass is just going to try and stab him because he can't really do anything else. That's only an 11 to hit.
Does not hit.
And then the one that is now right next to Luminora is going to make a stab, but that is only a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
All right. Cass, that is you.
I look at this guy and I'm like, I really don't think you thought this through very well. And I'm going to make my first attack.
It's just part of the job, man. Someone threatens the boss. Gotta do it.
That is a 22 to hit.
Yes, it is.
That is 10 damage.
How aggressively do you put this imp into the ground?
At this point, I'm just more kind of like almost casual about it. I just kind of just backhand with the staff and knock him to the side. Not even going for anything fancy. Just knock him out, knock him over.
He stumbles, trips. There's a broken bottle on the ground, and that's what actually kills him. He just falls into it.
All right, so I don't suppose there's another one within walking distance of me.
No, not quite.
All right, well,
About 10 or 15 feet from the bartender, if you were to use your full movement, I mean.
yeah, not much I can do there. I'm just gonna walk back over towards like where Valerian and was taking cover. Just all casual, just walking through like nothing's going on, like knives and blood being spit at him. Like, yeah, it's a Tuesday.
You notice the blue hairs are just fanning themselves and blushing so hard as to watching you do this.
I give him a big wiki as I walk by.
Perfect. All right, and then that's going to come down to Tevin. He is going to... I mean, he's still... I don't think he has enough movement to get up to that... the one that he's been shooting. So he's just going to shoot one last time. You know what? No. He's going to produce flame. He has been having luck with his crossbow, so he's going to cast Produce Flame, and misses. He is so worked up, he can't aim straight. And then, before we get to the top of the order, you hear a loud crash. Glass starts to rain down from above as you see this giant, 8-foot tall, devilish looking dude with deep purple hair, very dark red skin, and you notice that his eyes are a very deep red. He jumps off of the balcony, lands directly behind the imp that is looking very hurt in front of Luminora. You see him grab the imp from the back of the head and squeeze, and the imp's head explodes. Dark purple blood gushes everywhere, and you hear him go, "Guys, that's enough!" And then he looks up and goes, "Holy shit, Tevin!" And that's where we're going to end this episode.
Oh my gosh.
We're still killing him, right?
It's up to you, I guess.
I mean, it depends on what he wants to do next.
Yeah, I mean, I vote we talk to him. He
I'm
sounds like an okay guy.
I'm still kicking pretty strong, despite taking 13 damage. So
Yeah, I only took 5 damage.
Losers.
It was great.
Valerian, did you get hit at all? I know that I tried.
Nope. It's not really my thing.
yeah, probably still have more hit points than you anyway.
Very true.
No one went after Tevin though, did they? I don't think they did.
No, because he was kind of like huddled between you and Valerian the entire time.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
But yeah. Well, if our listeners like this and would like to support us, please head on over to our Instagram at Kobolds in the Basement Pod. You can find us on Facebook, or if you'd like to become a premium subscriber, you can head on over to www.buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. When you subscribe, let us know that it is us, the Kobolds, that got you to subscribe so that your member-exclusive merch reflects that. Also, like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast to stay up to date on episodes and everything like that. Anyone here have anything they want to plug this week? Anything you've been watching? Any cool books?
Well, I was going to plug that, Kobolds in the Basement also has a subreddit. If anybody would want to go post or ask questions there.
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot that you set that up. I'm so
Throne
bad.
of Glass series. That's a cool book series that I am almost completed.
Which one? Sorry?
The Throne of Glass
Okay.
series.
If anybody hasn't seen Star Wars, you probably should.
Solid plug. And then, just like from me every week, if you like other nerdy things from TVs, movies, comics, games, and the like, check out the All Things Nerd podcast. It's a weekly podcast about all things nerd. If no one else has anything else they'd like to add, we can call it here and say goodnight from the Kobolds in the Basement.
All right.
Good.
See you next time.
See ya.